was the best fighting game of 2020? It has to go to Grand Blue, because nothing fucking else came out. There was no brand new fighting games in 2020. If you're talking about the best fighting game to play in 2020, what is the best, like, significant upgrade to a fighting game that came out? In my opinion, this is going to be a big personal sort of thing. No big new fighting games came out this year except for Grand Blue. And Grand Blue obviously has its online problems. It's a slower paced, you know, simpler fighting game, which is not bad by any means. It's just not, it's a beautiful game, right? It's just, it doesn't have a lot of the things that make fighting games super engaging to me personally. MK11 got further updates and expansions, which is great. And it still doesn't have those things that specifically make me want to jump back in and learn more and play this character again, even with some of the most iconic and memorable characters of all time. It just doesn't have that hook, gameplay-wise for me. And Tekken really didn't get any significant character updates that made me really want to jump back and learn those characters. Power Rangers continually got updated, but it's just like Power Rangers just felt like more of a great thing, right? Nothing super insane happened to Power Rangers. It's really good. I don't think I'd give it to be my second fighting game of the year again. And then Smash obviously got brand new characters that made the game very exciting. A couple of mainstays that made the game super fucking interesting. But Dragon Ball FighterZ also got some very interesting new cast that changed the way the game feels in many ways. Where the game doesn't feel anymore like it's just Goku, 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 same combo structure for fucking everybody, or most of the cast. Everything feels like relatively... Characters feel fresh in Dragon Ball FighterZ is what I'm trying to say. However, I think there's one fighting game that came out this year, even though I didn't get a shit ton of time to play it, the bit of time I did play it, I really enjoyed. And it's one of those games that I never took an opportunity to kind of learn how to play. But now when you're presented with that game in an environment where it runs extremely good online and you're actually able to compete with people with a high quality online environment, I think fighting game of the year goes to Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R with rollback netcode. I do. I still like watching people play that game. I still lurk on Jonio's streams, and watching that game being played at a high level is fucking nuts. It's a broken, insane fucking game. But watching people play it at that level, at a high level, and seeing like all the shit that's possible in it, where people can actually do all the crazy shit, for a game that has such ballistic neutral, for a game that has such ridiculously unique character-to-character interactions, as someone that had never played Order Saul before, and realizing that Order Saul is just Saul but more fun. Like, that's extremely enjoyable to me, and I didn't even play other characters, right? I didn't even get a chance. I think the greatest individual fighting game of this year probably goes to fucking, I'd honestly say Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R. Like, I think the resurgence of Guilty Gear suddenly was of an old-ass game getting rollback netcode is a significant fucking event that happened in 2020. Which is why I will say the MVP, the true most valuable player of fighting games of 2020, at least for me, in a year that's been kind of like, in a year of fighting games that's been kind of like, hasn't like grabbed me in any crazy specific way outside of the game I just mentioned. Parsec wins 2020. Parsec has made fighting games that were unplayable in an online environment suddenly playable. I think Parsec and the communities that have made working netcode, I think Slippy for the Dolphin mod for Smash Brothers Melee, I think things like Null DC Bear and Fightcade, I think the big thing, and even to a larger degree, like Accent Core Plus R, is the same shit, right? I think what happened in 2020 is we are sick of developers not taking online seriously for the games we love. Fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. And I think that wins 2020 Fighting Game of the Year. Fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. So, the devs behind Fightcade 2, Null DC Bear, the guys that worked on the netcode for Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R, their new netcode, the guys, Code Mystics, that have been adding rollback netcode into SNK classics and have it play great online, games that people fucking love to this day, and Parsec, a client that allows everyone to enjoy classic fighting games, not with the extreme high quality of rollback netcode, but the best possible delay-based netcode you can possibly have to revitalize communities that have barely existed for the past, that would be impossible to exist in the environment we're currently in without their existence. I think this era that happened this year of fuck it, we'll do it ourselves, wins Fighting Game of 2020. So, all the devs that allowed those games to get made, and all the fighting game fans that existed to make Parsec work the way it does, to make Fightcade 2 work the way it does, and Null DC Bear, and all these different aspects are truly what kept fighting games alive in an era where they could not exist in real life. That's Game of the Year. That's Fighting Game of the Year 2020, in my personal opinion. Does it also count for GGPO and them's fighting herds? That's already been in the game for a long time, right? Yeah, the Parsec guys are very happy that people are utilizing that shit for fighting games, man. They very much are. And it's really my hope that if it took a global pandemic where everyone had to stay home to play fighting games to make devs wake the fuck up that their online needs to be better, that's crazy. That's crazy that it took that much. But it might be one of the best things for fighting games that comes out of this ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous year. You know? Blessing in disguise. Well, you know, I would very much have preferred if this shit didn't happen. But if there's something good that could have come out of this year, maybe it's getting people to fucking wake the hell up, you know? This took a global pandemic, no big deal.